The upcoming episodes of the CBS soap opera, The Young and the Restless, airing from May 5 to 9, 2025, are set to bring plenty of drama with some exciting twists and conflicts. Mariah and Tessa are going through a tough time in their relationship, while Diane plans to tell Jack the truth. Nate is getting more suspicious of Audra's connection to Victor, and Chelsea is realizing that working with Adam isn't as easy as she thought. This week will also have a lot of ups and downs for the characters. Phyllis has a big argument with Billy, and Lily makes a risky business decision. There will be plenty of surprises, including secrets being revealed and family drama that will keep fans hooked. At the beginning of the week on The Young and the Restless, Nate is getting more suspicious about Audra's connection to Victor and starts questioning her. Phyllis confronts Billy about her issues with him, leading to a big argument. Will Phyllis win this round, or will things get even worse? Damien tries to fix things with Lily, but her tough attitude might make it impossible. Meanwhile, Maria's secret starts to cause a new scandal that could shake up Genoa City. Diane feels it's time to tell Jack the truth, which could change their relationship forever. Victoria is getting more worried about Cole and opens up to Nick about her concerns. Tessa struggles with Mariah's actions, leading to a serious talk that could affect their future. Will their relationship survive, or is this the end for Teresa? In the middle of the week on The Young and the Restless, Victor challenges Chelsea's loyalty, testing where her true loyalty lies between him and Adam. Jack isn't happy with Billy and asks him to apologize, but it seems Billy won't back down. Lily takes a huge risk with a surprising business deal that could have big consequences. It's clear that the family drama and betrayals in Genoa City are far from over. Victor gets under Billy's skin by bringing up their long history of conflict. Meanwhile, Devin finds himself stuck in the middle of a family crisis after Lily makes a bold business move. Holden warns Damien, and the effects of past decisions start to show in unexpected ways. Will Devin be able to handle his family issues, or will he struggle between loyalty and business? By the end of the week on The Young and the Restless, Victor shows his ruthless side again, hitting Kyle's weak nerve and making him question his place in the family. Nikki gives her granddaughter Claire a tough dose of reality, but how will Claire react to it? Meanwhile, Chelsea realizes that working with Adam isn't as easy as she thought, and their professional partnership is facing serious challenges. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Pulse Canvas. It's me, Julie here. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Keep watching, so let's dive into today's video. The Young and the Restless spoilers for the week of May 5 to 9 imply that Phyllis Summers will vow revenge against Billy Abbott. As it stands now, she's upset about being fired from Abbott Communications. However, when she finds out Sally Spectra is the one who is replacing her, she'll lose her mind and be ready to lash out. How can Phyllis destroy Billy? Here are 3 ways. As much as Phyllis can't stand the Newmans, she could easily turn to Victor Newman or Adam Newman, asking for a job in exchange for Abbott Communications intel or any information she has on Billy. She could align with either the Moustache or Adam to form a solid plan of attack against him and his company to ensure his downfall. Phyllis will be very upset at the idea of Billy replacing her with Sally. Fans know that Phyllis still has feelings for her ex, and mere months ago, the night before she got kidnapped, Phyllis fantasized about a reunion. So, while she will hit the roof once she learns about Sally's new job, she may decide to calm herself down and decide on a scheme to break Silly up, which could kill 2 birds with 1 stone, ruining Sally's love and business life, while also reuniting with Billy. Phyllis can be quite the seductress when she wants to be, and as Billy doesn't hate her, he may fall for her trap. Speaking of Billy caring for Phyllis, if she plays her cards right, he may agree to offer her another job at Abbott Communications. Billy feels bad for the position Phyllis is in, and while he doesn't feel comfortable with her leading the company, he may decide to give her another position. Could she sabotage the organization from the inside? At the very least, she may decide to tamper with Sally's role to prove a point. Either way, this could mean bad news for Abbott Communications and bad news for Billy. Are there any other ways Phyllis could ruin Billy's life? Drop a comment below. Watch the CBS Soap Daily to catch all the drama in Genoa City, and visit this site often for the best Young and the Restless news, updates, and spoilers. The Young and the Restless spoilers update for the week of May 5 to 9 reveals that Jack Abbott will make a fierce demand before Victor Newman provokes Billy Abbott. Adam Newman and Chelsea Lawson will also face a setback, so let's discuss what's ahead in Genoa City. For starters, Nate Hastings will find it suspicious when Audra Charles admits she still hasn't seen the funding for her new cosmetics company. It'll leave Nate worried that Audra is setting herself up for more disappointment since Victor can't be trusted. Over with Lily Winters, she'll push Damian Kane to set up a meeting for her. Lily will want to speak with Aristotle Dumas in person, but Aristotle will make Lily jump through some hoops before he'll even consider agreeing to that. However, Lily will eventually strike a stunning deal, one that could perhaps get Aristotle on board and rile Devin Winters up in the process. Jack will find himself riled up as well since Diane Jenkins Abbott will admit Billy didn't like the Abbott mansion renovations. Diane may get emotional as she updates Jack on Billy's criticism, so he'll fume over his brother making Diane feel unappreciated. Soon after, Jack will corner Billy with a fierce demand. After Jack pushes Billy to apologize to Diane, will Billy do it or defend his disapproval since he liked the Abbott house better when it truly felt like home? Over with Phyllis Summers, she'll leave Sally Spectra shaken when she dishes out some threats. Billy will try to convince Sally there's nothing to be concerned about, but Sally will sense troubles brewing after Phyllis vows revenge. While Mariah Copeland makes Tessa Porter suspicious with her strange, secretive behavior, Victoria Newman will talk to Nick Newman about Cole Howard and her fears about his medical drama. Cole's test results will come back sooner or later, so will his doctor deliver some horrible news and bleak predictions? Could Cole be seriously ill and potentially on the verge of facing a grim fate? Despite Claire Newman's continued belief that maybe Victor will come around on her relationship, Nikki Newman may push her to lower her expectations. Claire and Kyle Abbott will consider moving in Adam's old place, but will Victor block the condo purchase or at least try to? Regardless, Victor will make some sort of power play against Kyle later and leave him livid. It won't be long until Kyle's venting to Jack about just how relentless Victor can be. Victor will prove that to Billy as well when he works to get under Billy Boy's skin. We'll see Victor goad Billy as their own feud heats up. Next, Victor will do something that makes Chelsea feel like her loyalty is being tested, especially since it'll happen right after she starts her new job at Newman Media. The Young and the Restless spoilers say Adam and Chelsea will have a hard time finding their groove as work partners, so they'll face a bit of a setback when it comes to this arrangement. Nevertheless, Chelsea may be determined to make this partnership work, so we'll see if she can somehow pass Victor's test while still keeping her integrity intact. The drama never stops in Genoa City. For the Monday, May 5 episode of The Young and the Restless, spoilers photos show Damian righting a wrong, Nate on alert, and Claire and Kyle having another heart-to-heart. Audra is playing a dangerous little game teaming up with Victor, and it has her main man on edge. Nate's spidey senses are tingling, and he's becoming more and more suspicious of what's going on between his girlfriend and his former employer. Obviously, Audra is keeping the dark parts of this deal under wraps, but the more secret she keeps, the more tension she feels between her and Nate. At the same time, Damian turns up to see Lily and try to make amends. They'll meet up at Crimson Lights for coffee, but it won't be long before they're grabbing drinks at the club. Does this mean his apology tour goes well? Or is Lily going to take his guilt and use it to dig even deeper into this newcomer? Meanwhile, Claire and Kyle have much to discuss. He wants more than she's willing to give at the moment, and he keeps pushing for the world. It's clear he's head over heels, but Claire has some hesitations about moving too much too fast. Can he convince her to change her mind? Also coming up, we'll see Billy and Sally meet up with Phyllis at the athletic club. They're there to offer their support, but Phyllis isn't exactly a woman who likes to lean on others. In fact, teasers show she'll take Billy to task and lash out in a way he'll never expect. I&R's video preview for May 5 to 9 has Phyllis issuing threats, while Lily awaits Aristotle Dumas' arrival. May kicks off with an intriguing week in Genoa City. The Young and the Restless spoilers video preview shows that Phyllis' temper is flaring while another character's loyalty is tested. Here's a sneak peek of what to expect for May 5 to 9. Damien meets Lily to share important news. He tells her that he reached out to Aristotle Dumas to arrange a meeting between him and Lily. The mysterious businessman has generated buzz in Genoa City, but no one is more curious than Lily. As it turns out, Mr. Dumas is also curious about Lily, especially what she's after. Could Dumas be inching closer to his arrival in Genoa City? And will Damien's business partner become his competition for Lily's affections? Elsewhere, Chelsea begins her new job as COO of Newman Media. When Adam proposed the idea of him and Chelsea working together, she accepted. Chelsea was excited about her job and having Victor's approval, but now she's having doubts. Chelsea is suspicious that Victor might have an ulterior motive in hiring her. Is this Victor's way of testing my loyalty? Chelsea asks Adam. Given that Chatham just reunited and Newman Media will be competing against Abbott Communications, Victor will be keeping a close eye on Chelsea. Later, Billy and Sally are having dinner at GCAC when they're interrupted by Phyllis. Phyllis is still fuming after Billy fired her last week. Her anger increases when she learns that Sally has now taken over her job at Abbott Communications. "You're going to be sorry you did this to me," Phyllis warns Sally and Billy. With Phyllis' emotions running high, she'll have revenge on her mind. What scheme will she come up with to destroy Billy and Sally? The Young and the Restless spoilers for Monday, May 5 put Phyllis in her favorite position, believing she's the victim and out for revenge on the villain. When Phyllis first arrived in Genoa City, she wanted Danny. She believed Christine stood in her way of getting Danny, so she played fun pranks on her, like trying to kill her. There have been many repeat instances since then, as well as a few dead bodies Phyllis claimed she wasn't responsible for. Most recently, Phyllis pegged Diane as her mortal enemy, so Phyllis faked her own death and killed a guy while she was at it. But it was all Diane's fault, don't you know? Now, Phyllis blames Billy for not hiring her and Daniel, because Daniel doesn't want to work for him. How dare Billy allow this to happen? Phyllis has to make him pay now. Lily doesn't trust Damien. Damien tried to change her mind. Lily said no. Damien said please. Now he's worked his way up to saying sorry. Will Lily buy it this time? Maybe if he keeps repeating it. Nate knew who Audra was when he became romantically involved with her, right? She was not that different from him. They'd both done underhanded things in business, and both messed up royally. Now Audra is in bed with Victor. Metaphorically, it's actually a deal for Audra to get into bed with Kyle, and Nate is wondering what that means for him. Is she sure this is a good idea? Might she reconsider? Who did Nate think he was dating? In the latest video preview for Young and the Restless, Phyllis is furious, Damien arranges a meeting, and Chelsea has her doubts. Lily's made it clear that she wants to know who Aristotle Dumas is and what possible designs he has on our family's company. Next week, Damien tells Lily, as promised, I sent word to Aristotle Dumas to try and arrange a meeting with you. She asks, and Damien says he wants to know why she wants a meeting and what exactly she's after. How long before we finally stop playing 20 questions and meet the mysterious Mr. Dumas? Last week, Chelsea asked Lauren for advice about leaving Marchetti to work with Adam and the Newmans. Now she's having second thoughts about her decision. Chelsea tells Adam, "I just joined your family's company, so I can't help but wonder about the timing. Is this Victor's way of testing my loyalty?" After trying to convince Phyllis that Daniel didn't want to work with them, and she was smothering her son, Billy was left with no choice but to fire her. She begged him not to do this, but he felt she needed to take time off for herself, and they'd revisit her employment in the future. And after offering Phyllis' job to Sally, you just knew Phyllis wouldn't take this turn of events lying down. Coming up, as Sally looks on, a seemingly drunk Phyllis warns Billy he's going to be sorry he did this to her. Genoa City has been rocked to its core with one of the most explosive twists in recent Young and the Restless history, and fans are still trying to catch their breath. Tessa Porter, once the picture of stability and devotion in her marriage to Mariah Copeland, has dropped a baby bombshell that no one saw coming. And now, with Daniel Romalotti shockingly at the center of it all, Maria's world has come crashing down in the most heartbreaking way imaginable. It all started with whispers, quiet moments between Tessa and Daniel that raised more than a few eyebrows. But no one, especially not Mariah, could have predicted this. In an emotionally charged scene, Tessa finally breaks down and confesses the truth. She's pregnant. But the true dagger? The father is Daniel. Mariah, frozen in disbelief, collapses to the floor in tears, unable to comprehend how the love of her life could betray her in the most intimate, irreversible way. Fans have watched Mariah and Tessa grow from uncertain beginnings into one of Y&R's most beloved couples. They've battled trauma, fought for adoption, and stood by each other through loss and struggle. But now, everything they built is on the verge of destruction. Friends and family are torn, with Sharon trying to comfort Mariah while questioning how Tessa could allow this to happen. Noah, who once loved Tessa himself, finds himself caught in a painful crossfire of divided loyalties. Meanwhile, Daniel's ex, Lily, is furious and may soon take matters into her own hands. The shockwaves are already spreading. Faith has distanced herself from Tessa, Kyle is warning Daniel to come clean publicly, and Devon is questioning if his company can continue supporting Tessa's music career amid the scandal. Insiders are keeping tight-lipped about what's next, but whispers on set suggest a major storyline twist is still ahead. Could Tessa's pregnancy reveal come with an unexpected twist, like mistaken paternity? Or could this truly be the final chapter of Tyria as we know it? Some fans are holding out hope for a reconciliation, but others say the damage may be too deep. As Mariah spirals, viewers are about to see a side of her we've never witnessed before. Raw, wounded, and ready to fight, or flee. And Tessa? She may find herself more alone than ever before, as the consequences of her one mistake threaten to consume everything she loves. In a jaw-dropping turn of events, The Young and the Restless has delivered one of the most emotional gut punches in recent soap history, and it's all centered around the fan-favorite character Sally Spectra. Viewers were left in shock and tears as the storyline took an unexpected and heartbreaking direction that no one saw coming. Sally, portrayed brilliantly by Courtney Hope, has been through countless ups and downs since arriving in Genoa City. From scandalous love triangles to fierce business rivalries, she's become a beloved yet polarizing figure in the Y&R universe. But this latest twist has crossed into uncharted emotional territory, and fans are not okay. This week's episodes saw Sally facing a devastating loss that will change her forever. In a heartbreaking hospital scene, Sally receives news that brings her world crashing down. The raw emotion in her eyes, the trembling in her voice, Courtney Hope's performance left viewers speechless. Without giving away too many spoilers, let's just say a life-altering tragedy has struck. One that touches on themes of grief, motherhood, and shattered dreams. It's a storyline that has sparked an outpouring of emotion across social media. with fans flooding platforms like X and Instagram with messages of heartbreak, disbelief, and support. Insiders say this emotional arc was carefully planned by the writers to showcase a deeper, more vulnerable side of Sally. "We wanted to explore what happens when someone so strong finally breaks," said one Y&R writer. "Sally has always fought her way out of messes, but this time, there's no fixing what's been lost." Courtney Hope, known for her powerhouse acting and fearless vulnerability, reportedly found filming these scenes draining but deeply rewarding. In a recent interview, she admitted, "While the future looks uncertain, this tragedy may lead to one of the most powerful redemption arcs we've ever seen." Will Sally rise from the ashes stronger than ever, or will the weight of grief consume her? Rumors suggest a surprising alliance and an unexpected romance may be on the horizon as Sally tries to piece her life back together. Fans are already demanding justice for her character and speculating about how this storyline might evolve in the coming weeks. One thing is clear: Sally's journey is far from over. This storyline hits close to home for many viewers who've experienced personal loss, and Y&R has been praised for portraying grief with such raw authenticity. It's not just a soap opera moment, it's a deeply human one. As we brace ourselves for what's next, one thing remains certain. Sally Spectra has solidified her place as one of the most emotionally resonant characters on daytime television. At Jabat, Kyle tells Diane that Claire won't be moving in with them at home. It would be another slap in Victor's face. Diane thinks he could use a metaphorical slap in his face, and Claire could be just the one to give it to him. Kyle doesn't want the mustache going after them. Diane complains that Claire should be full of joy, not constantly looking over her shoulder, worrying that her grandfather will take that joy away. It's so twisted. She rants about the Newmans bending over backward to please Victor. They debate the point, and Kyle says Claire is determined to live on her own terms. Diane warns Victor won't stop. Kyle's sure Claire will chip away at him one small victory at a time. Diane hopes she knows what she's up against. At the tack house, Victoria grabs Cole's jacket to take him to the doctor. Claire tells her dad to take it easy. Victoria decides to call the doctor, let him know about the symptoms, and that they're on their way. Getting Cole's coat on, he tells Claire and Victoria to stop fussing over him. Undeterred, they help him up to get him to the car. Claire hangs back as they take off, with Victoria saying she'll let her know. At Society, Summer asks Sally if she knows why Chelsea called this meeting. Sally's not sure she'd be the first person she'd tell. Summer apologizes. Chelsea arrives and tells them this won't take long. She wants to run something by them and asks that they keep an open mind. Summer gushes about how impressed and proud she's been with their team. She then asks what Chelsea wants to run by them. Chelsea says she's been given a job offer, which means she could be leaving Marchetti. Sally's eyes widen. Summer asks if another fashion house is trying to poach her. Chelsea doesn't want to get into specifics right now. She insists she's happy at Marchetti. Summer says she must be having some doubts, or she wouldn't want to leave. Chelsea explains it's a totally new direction. Sally has a feeling she knows what the job is. She knows how Adam's mind works. He's asked you to work with him at Newman Media, hasn't he? Sally explains that Adam doesn't trust a lot of people. He finds those he cares about to fill that role. Sally's sure this is the next logical step for her ex. Summer asks Chelsea point blank if she's planning to leave Marchetti for Newman Media. Chelsea isn't ready to divulge that yet and doesn't think it makes a difference. Summer argues that it does. If she loses her, it's a serious blow. Chelsea doesn't want to leave her in the lurch. But if she does leave, she thought Sally might want to expand her role beyond Marchetti's Z. She has full confidence she could handle it. She would never want to put Summer in a bad position. Summer asks Sally how she'd feel about adding creative director to her job description. Sally gawps at her. Sally finally says it's definitely something to think about. It could be a good fit. Summer thinks so too. She'd hate to lose Chelsea, But if that's what's going to happen, she'd be confident with Sally stepping in. Sally appreciates the vote of confidence. There are just some things she needs to work through first. I have had an offer of my own. Summer gops. Is she being courted by a competitor? Sally says not at all. She marvels that she was thinking if she took the job, Chelsea could take over Marchetti's. Summer can't believe this. She could be losing both of her lead designers at the same time. At the club, Lauren tells Michael she's happy to catch up. She feels like they haven't spent time together in days. She learns he spoke to Jack and is sure he heard all about Diane's renovations. Michael admits it wasn't a purely personal visit. Victor's amping up his war against Jabba, and he gave Jack a heads up. Lauren exclaims that he's Victor's sworn enemy. When he warns Jack, he crosses into enemy territory. Michael's trying to navigate the situation to the best possible outcome. Lauren guarantees he just made it worse. When Victor finds out, this will bite him in the ass. And then what? Lauren can't understand why her husband wants more trouble. Michael refuses to see this as crossing enemy lines. Lauren reminds him that Victor expects confidentiality, which means not going to Jack. Michael sees himself as a secret go-between. Left to their own devices, what would those two men be capable of? Think about the collateral damage. Lauren warns he's in the middle, which is a dangerous place to be. If Victor finds out, he'll be infuriated. The casualty of his war will be Michael. The lawyer is sure he'll never find out, because I have a plan. Lauren tells Michael he's a brilliant attorney, but when it comes to Victor and plans, she's not confident. She points out he stayed the night Victor was shot by Ian Ward and has felt Victor's wrath many times. Have you not learned your lesson yet? She asks what he's up to. He won't tell her. She'll shoot it down. He announces he's over it. Lauren suggests he then listen to her plan. Remove yourself altogether, and you tell Victor you quit. Michael will honor his allegiance to Victor. Lauren rants that people he cares about will get hurt. Michael maintains he knows what he's doing. He'll stick around, partly to prevent a disaster. Lauren gawps that he thinks he's the hero in this. Diane walks up and Lauren urges her husband to tell her what they were talking about. Diane's curious. Why would she be interested in what they're talking about unless it has to do with her or Jack? She guesses it has to do with Jack and Michael's evil master. Michael declares the discussion over. Diane says it's not and asks where his allegiance lies, with his friends or the man who signs his checks. She trots off and Michael asks Lauren why she put him in a spot like that. Lauren had to light a fire under him to do the right thing. She doesn't like what working for Victor is doing to him. Tearing up, she says this scares her. Michael asks, why are you doing this? Lauren's starting to wonder if Diane is right. Is your allegiance really with Victor and not your friends who you say are so important to you? Michael is trying to protect them all. Either she doesn't understand or she refuses to. At Crimson Lights, Audra tells Victor she needs her funding. He complains that she hasn't made a single move against Kyle Abbott yet. She lets him know how much she wants this deal and swears she'll never flip to Kyle's side, not after the way he betrayed her. She needs to start building her company and get office space and employees. Victor says it will come in time. Audra stresses that it's part of her plan to get to Kyle. Victor doesn't want to know the details. She repeats that funding is critical if she's going to see this true. Victor will deposit part of the seed money everything she makes progress. The sooner she makes it clear Kyle is hurting his granddaughter, the more funding she'll get. Audra muses, you don't trust me at all, do you? Victor says, not at all. Audra asks what she has to do to show him he can trust her. He tells her she must get results. Audra tells him the new company will be called Vibranti. Victor likes it. He asks for the number of her corporate account. She asks if he'll be putting up some money as a sign of good faith. Victor tells her when she takes Kyle down a peg, she'll get her first deposit. I suggest you get busy. As he walks out, Kyle arrives, noting they were talking. He asks Audra why she isn't busy working on her new venture, She calls him a Nepo baby and claims she's just there for a caffeine boost. She needles him a little more and then tells him his time's up. Jabot's going to be in trouble. He's amused. Audra tells him Vibrant will launch firing on all cylinders. They'll outdo his old potions and lotions. They continue to banter until Kyle tells her many companies have tried to best Jabot. She'd be wise to learn from history. Her project doesn't stand a chance. Audra's excited about the future and won't share with the competition where she's at in the process. He's sure it's all in her imagination and taunts, "You don't know what you're doing." Audra says she does, and reminds him he knows what she's capable of on every level. They banter some more, and she assures him she'll invite him to the launch party. He tells her every woman there will be wearing Jabot's lotions and potions. Claire arrives and Audra coos, "Ah, someone needs to turn that frown upside down." Claire asks why she's always so rude. Audra exits and Claire tells Kyle about her father being sick. She's worried it could be serious. Kyle assures her Cole will be fine. They kiss. Claire tells him he always knows how to make her feel better. From the patio, Audra watches them embrace. Sitting, Kyle tells Claire that Audra is moving forward with her cosmetics company and can't get over herself. She pretends to herself that Jabot should be worried. He suspects this isn't all coming from her. Someone's backing her. Claire asks if he suspects her grandfather is involved. Kyle admits that he does, but he has no proof. Claire tells him there's reason to worry. She just found out that her grandfather is back in business with Audra. This seems like a direct move against Kyle. Kyle arrives at Jabot and calls someone. "I need your help." He asks the person to find out everything they can about a startup called Vibrant and get back to him. After disconnecting, he gets on the laptop to look into it, mumbling that he has a pretty good idea who's behind it. Victor arrives at the ranch and calls out for Nikki. Getting no answer, he pulls out his phone and sends a text. At the club, Michael receives Victor's text asking to see him immediately. Lauren pulls the phone out of his hand. She tells her husband, "You know where I stand. You need to get out of this fight immediately. You're in the middle of something that's going to blow up, and you need to get out now, before it's too late." Michael exchanges a look with Diane, who's leaving with her takeout bag.